and saying, like, do you believe in your evolution here? Like, do you believe in the manosphere's plight?
I'm gonna tell you something. No. And I say that because I feel like it's changed too much. Like, I feel like the original mission statement and the original people that were in the space actually had somewhat of a succinct set of ideas that they followed and that they were beholden to. And they all had somewhat of an agenda, that somewhat of a framework that they shared and that overlapped in certain ways. And it was way better as a result of that. Whereas now there's so much fresh new blood and everybody is on their own thing that there's no cohesion, and there's, people going every which way. And I don't think that there is a solid core framework for it as it stands today. But once upon a time it was. And I think had the founders like kind of been together and on one accord from like that point, that they could have, steered the ship a little bit more and kind of controlled things a little bit more. I mean, it's an e-space, so within set parameters, I mean, as much as you can, but I think like there was a point in time where there was like some respect of like the founders and stuff, and people would be like, even like not too long ago, because even I remember when that stuff happened with Fresh and Fit, and it was like O'Shea was like kind of like had to have a meeting of the minds with the dudes from Fresh and Fit and stuff like that. So there was some respect of the people who founded the space, and people would kind of respect their word. So I think that things have changed so much and so drastically that doesn't exist to the same degree that it once did, and it has kind of had a negative impact on the space, in my opinion. So that's my opinion. What about you? Same question.
I literally had to sit there and think about that this morning or this afternoon when I was talking about it. And, we were talking about Pearly, and they were saying, the guys were telling me, they were saying that Pearly has been able to do something that the majority of the women over here have not been able to do, and that is to stick to the freaking script. And Pearly's been able to stick to the script. Now, I'm not going to be derogatory toward her, and this is not about us being derogatory toward anybody, but just certain things that
we weren't derogatory towards her yesterday.
True. But they made a great point about her actually sticking to the script and staying on code. And then when I was sitting here and I was thinking about that, I was like, it's hard for me to push messaging that I don't know if I still believe in. We've seen some things in the space over these few years. We've had our own experiences in the space within these last few years that some of it has put bad taste in our mouths. Now, I'll say me more so, I've had the most conflict between me and Concrete. I've definitely had the most conflict, but there have been things that I've seen with my own eyes, and it's like the messaging has not been consistent across the board. The founding fathers haven't been on one accord. I believe in the talking points. I don't believe in the people. I had a belief in the people at one point. I still believe in a lot of the talking points, but it gets to be really, really hard. Then when we talk about our own indoctrination into our own culture, we're Black women. We Black women we grew up a certain way. You don't get rid of your thinking and your learnings overnight. You don't get rid of a certain education overnight. But I'm not going to say that the manosphere hasn't helped me. The manosphere has definitely helped me communicate better with men, but